everybody, it's Dr. Glauc.
And Lady Glauc.
Guess what? We are bringing our live show, Wife and Death, to Lebanon, New Hampshire, September 15th at 7:30 p.m.
That's right. Back to the Upper Valley at the Lebanon Opera House.
So I went to med school at Dartmouth.
Yep, I went to grad school there.
And we wanted to come back and put on a show for the community. We cannot wait. It's going to be a blast. You can find tickets at our website, glaucandflecken.com/speaking, or go to LebanonOperaHouse.org. We'll see you in September.
Knock, knock. Hi.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Knock, Knock, Hi with the Glaucomfleckens. I am Dr. Glaucomflecken, also known as Will Flannery.
I am Lady Glaucomflecken, also known as Kristin Flannery.
And we are doing some Glauc talk today. I've got a handful of topics for you. How are you feeling this morning?
I'm great.
Did you get some rest last night?
I did. I had a 96% sleep score.
Is that the highest you've
No, I've gotten
achieved?
to 99 before.
How do you get that 100? How do you get like a
I don't
perfect
know.
score?
I'm not sure if it's possible.
Well, I bet they don't let you get 100.
They
It's
might
like because
not,
they
so
want you
keep
to keep
checking.
striving
Yeah,
for perfection.
right.
Because once you're like perfect sleep scores, like what do I need this Apple Watch for?
Yeah.
Does it correlate to how you like if you get what's like the worst sleep score you've had?
The score, I don't always agree with the score. And sometimes it will tell me I woke up multiple times in the night and I'm like, no, I didn't. And I understand like we all wake like these little micro awakenings or whatever. But what correlates is what you might expect, which is just how long did I sleep and did I go to bed on time? So I don't really need the Apple Watch for that.
Over the years, your sleep setup has gotten more and more complicated.
It has.
So now you like when we first
require
met,
more things.
yeah, it was just nothing. You just like went to bed.
Yeah.
Now you got your sleep mask. You got sometimes you do the transformer mask that makes you look scary.
Oh, does it?
The red light. The red light.
Oh, the LED. That's not to sleep.
No. Oh, okay. Well,
That's a skincare thing.
okay. Well, anyway.
But yes, I do have that.
The face mask. You got the jet engine.
Yes, white noise
machine right next to you. I
Yep.
swear you're going to lose hearing.
No, it's my nightstand's in between. There's a little buffer.
Normally, blackout curtains. It's
Yep. If there is a single dot of light, it will wake me up.
What other sensory deprivation things do we need to get you? How about like
I have a weighted blanket also. That's new. I cannot sleep without a
a
weighted
weighted
blanket
blanket?
anymore.
We have so many weighted blankets in our house. Her weighted blankets have weighted blankets.
I also,
She
you
has a
haven't,
weighted sweatshirt.
I do. I love it. You haven't seen it yet, but I just got these things. They're called sleep pods, I think. It's basically like a compression garment that makes you look like a little worm.
You're
Like you just
swaddling
wiggle.
yourself.
Yes, it's an adult swaddle.
It's an adult swaddle.
Absolutely.
How do you do it? Am I going to have to swaddle
No,
you?
you just like pull it on
It's like it
and then
compresses
tuck
you.
your arms into it.
Oh my God. You're gonna can I release you from it in the morning and then have you like
Just
immediately stretch like a
newborn.
like a newborn baby?
Maybe.
I'm gonna be carrying you to bed soon. I'm gonna be tucking you in.
I wish you would. That would be lovely.
You want to hear a bedtime story?
You don't.
What do you need?
You take it for granted as a kid that you get this whole bedtime ritual and somebody's taking care of you and wishing you well into your slumber. None of that happens as an adult.
Well, nobody's got time for that.
When I was growing up, though, part of the bedtime routine was because this was in a tiny little town in rural Texas, and religion was a big part of the culture, and so the bedtime prayer always included, "If I die before I wake, I pray the Lord my soul to take." Every night.
Yes.
Every night. You wonder why I grew up with anxiety.
Well, I grew up Catholic, and we also said that.
You did
prayer.
that too?
Like there was like a brief period of time when that was like happening nightly. Yeah.
No, that was like my whole childhood.
You just 0 to 18. You're just
if I die while I'm asleep. And then isn't it ironic that later on you died while you were asleep?
That's true. My bedtime routine for a period of time involved I had a stuffed dog.
Yeah, Goggy.
No, this is a
Oh,
different one.
different
It's a
one.
different dog. It was like it was a trendy toy where it was a plush
Uh-huh.
dog, but you could flip its
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
flip its lip up
Uh-huh. It was like a pound puppy, I
to
think.
to go from like, hound
Yeah.
dog looking sad
Yeah.
or just normal neutral appearance to like, teeth. And so like I would flip and I'd set it on and looking at the door.
Oh, to be a little guard dog.
Yeah, to be
Aw, cute.
my own guard dog, because the only guard dog we had a dachshund,
Yes.
a wiener dog,
All she would do is pee on
would
someone.
pee on anybody as soon as they recognized this dog. Just immediate loss of bladder.
Yeah.
Love the dog, but
I mean,
but
that might be an
dachshunds-
effective strategy to get somebody, to
unless
leave.
an intruder was very susceptible to ankle bites.
Mm.
Like
Mhm.
probably not the best guard
That's what I'm
dog.
saying. I think the peeing would be more effective than a tiny
Right.
little ankle bite.
Well, let me know how I can further assist you.
Okay, thank you. I'd love to be tucked in.
Okay. Yeah.
I also require that the bed is made. If the blankets are
True. That's the other thing.
wrinkly or like crooked,
gotten
I
worse over
literally
time.
cannot
Yeah.
sleep.
Has it
Like,
al-
it's not just that I'm being, particular. It's like I can't sleep. It
There
will
have
wake
been-
me up.
People, listen, there have been times whenever I have been like in bed, almost asleep, and Kristin barrels in, gets in there, and I know it's going to happen because it's all a lot of,
Lots of sighing.
and then finally, like she's just so fed up with it, is I can't do it, and she rips all the blankets off. I bolt wide awake, and then we spend the next minute having to redo the bed because it wasn't good enough, and it takes me an additional like half hour to get back to sleep.
They
So-
need the context, though. I feel you're not being entirely fair.
Why?
Because when I sleep, I don't move. Like, I might rotate on my axis, but that is it. I can get out of the bed in the morning and it is still perfectly made.
I don't move either.
And I don't know what you're doing in there. You're having like a full-on rodeo during the middle of the night.
I
Like,
do.
the
I'm
blankets will
active.
end up upside down on the floor. Like, you twist them around your legs somehow.
I am a calf wrangler in my sleep.
Yes.
That's exactly what's happening.
So it's like that adds to the frustration because I know it's like it's never my fault that these blankets are all messed up. And then there you are asleep while I'm struggling. So that's part of the frustrated
suppose.
sighing.
I suppose. Hey, Kristin.
Yeah.
Now we're getting into the summer months.
Yeah.
All right. I want to tell you something that I've been hearing about from patients.
Okay.
So everybody's using lots of fans and air conditioning,
Mhm.
which can lead to dry, irritated eyes.
Oh, yeah.
But there's a chance that those symptoms could be something else entirely.
Oh, I know the answer to this one.
All right, let's hear it.
It could be Demodex blepharitis.
Yes. Oh, you're learning so much about eyeballs. I love it. Actually, there was a study that showed about 60% of patients treated for dry eye also had Demodex blepharitis.
That is a lot.
And the symptoms like itchy, red, irritated eyelids, they're similar, so it can be confusing. Ask your eye doctor to check for those little tiny collarettes on the lashes.
Oh, those crusties at the base of the eyelashes.
Exactly.
Mm.
And the good news is that there's a prescription eye drop available for Demodex blepharitis. To learn more about Demodex blepharitis, visit miteslovelids.com. Again, that's miteslovelids.com to learn more. This ad is brought to you by Tarsus Pharmaceuticals. Kristin, I got to hand to you.
Why is that?
You've created a nice, comfortable place for us in our bedroom amidst all the chaos of summer.
Oh, well, thank you.
Kids
Yes.
everywhere,
Yeah.
inviting friends over, chaos.
You got to have some place you can retreat to from all that. So that's our bedroom.
And also Cozy Earth.
It's because of Cozy Earth that it is
We got the bamboo
so
sheets.
nice in there.
We got the duvet cover,
Yep.
which I don't even think I knew what that word was before I met you.
I doubt it.
Duvet. But I'm so glad Cozy Earth makes this awesome duvet cover.
Yeah.
It's really great. It's like at the end of the day, just go in, can relax. Like go ahead and lay
Mhm.
down in that bed.
Yeah, and you kick your legs all around.
Oh, God, that's like the best part of my
Yeah.
day right there. Cozy Earth stands behind everything they make with a 10-year warranty on all bedding and a 100-night sleep trial. If it's not the best sleep of your life, send it back. Everything else is getting back on track. Your sleep should too. Head to CozyEarth.com and use my code KNOCK for an exclusive 20% off. That's code KNOCK for 20% off. And if you see a post-purchase survey, mention that you heard about Cozy Earth right here. Well, let's go. I've got a handful of topics I want to address with you today. So first is, how do you feel like I'm doing as a news broadcaster?
Oh, you're doing great.
So I've been we launched Medlines not too long ago, and I'm getting into it. I really could, because I feel like I got like a decent voice for like
you got a good radio voice,
radio
news voice,
podcast. It's like, it's I don't know. People have told me it's a little ASMR-ish.
Dulcet tones.
Exactly. I could really dial it up.
You could.
The news.
You could go like full Delilah mode.
I could go NPR.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to NPR. Here we are. Welcome to Glauc. Knock knock Glauc. Whatever.
Glauc.
Knock knock Glauc. Open up. So yeah, I think it's going. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah,
I'm enjoying it.
It's a good show.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I know I'm biased, but it is just like
I'm learning a thing or two.
Show.
I'm learning a thing or two. Okay, so good. Like, you feel like I have this could be a different career path for me,
because you need another one. You don't have enough already.
See, the problem, I feel like I'm always a little bit too disheveled appearing for actual like news.
Right. You should probably do something with your hair. Like, it looks nice right now, like that. When you've like smoothed it.
Yeah, still.
But sometimes you come in full neurologist.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Okay, I'll think about my appearance. I'll have to work a little bit harder on my appearance.
Yeah, I can help you.
All right, let's talk. I want to talk about midlife crisis.
Okay.
We are of a certain age. I'm 40. You're 41.
Yep.
I feel the pull of like wanting to find a hobby, like a new thing.
Where do you think you have the time?
Look, because
you're getting a third career, getting a hobby.
No, listen, career, it's different. Hobbies, career, different. It used to be ultimate frisbee.
Yeah.
For years and years, and I've gotten away from it mainly because like my body hurts all the time.
Yeah.
And I don't want to injure myself any further. Like, I do not want a devastating like Achilles injury or ACL or something. So I've been doing more like weightlifting, which is fine. But I want something. I want to just to really
like creative,
something
athletic,
something I can put some time into without having to think about the healthcare system.
Yeah.
Without having to think about medicine. Like, that's what I had with Ultimate Frisbee, is I could just go and play, and I'm not, for like an hour and a half, I am not thinking about like a video I've got to record.
Right.
Or a podcast episode I have to do.
Yeah.
Even though I love doing it with my wife every single time.
Nice save.
And so I need that. Now that I don't have that, I need that thing. So
when you're weightlifting, is that a hobby? Like, do you not think about it then? Or is that more just like, this is a chore that I have to do for my health?
Well, no, I do like it, but it's more like, I know weightlifting is important, like long term as you get older.
More of a chore.
It feels like, it's just something I kind of got to do. Yeah. Okay, so can I give you some options?
Okay. Am I voting?
Well, just want your opinion. Okay. So these are like midlife crisis hobbies.
Okay. I vote sports car. That'd be mine. That'd be my midlife crisis.
You have to get a higher paying job.
Actually, I would really love a motorcycle, but I know I can't have one.
I mean, you're a grown adult with your own free will, and I don't tell you what to do with our money.
My anxiety would stop me from actually getting one, but I do. In my fantasy world, I would love a motorcycle, and I would love to be a drummer.
You need the fix. You need a fix. Like, you need to be able to go somewhere, ride a motorcycle for a little bit.
Go really fast,
like
and zippy.
Once a year, and you're good, right?
Yeah.
That work. Would you need to be actually operating it, or can you like sit on the back with somebody?
I would prefer to be operating it, but I would settle for sitting on the back.
Considering you don't know how to drive a motorcycle.
It's not that hard. I could
There's
figure it out.
I know you know how to do a clutch. I know, but it's a different clutch. It's like
I'm an intelligent, capable person.
Okay,
I could figure it out.
So we know what yours is. Yeah. All right. Mountain biking.
Okay.
Now, what are your immediate thoughts about me getting into mountain biking? Because we live in Oregon. It's beautiful.
Yes.
There's so many opportunities.
Yes.
Go to Tillamook National Forest. It's just
Sure.
like miles and miles of bike trails.
My concern is that our weekends would be consumed. And this is not an activity that I could participate in because of my...
Well, we're talking about my
I know,
midlife crisis.
right. But if you're off mountain biking, my point is, if it's consuming the weekends, it's not like it's going to be like a fun family activity because, like, I can't do it.
Okay.
But,
well, you can go camping.
I hate camping.
What?
Anyway, so if I'm not doing it, then that just means that you're gone a lot. And either you and the kids are gone and I'm left out, and that's sad. Or you're gone and I've got the kids and now I've got like all the responsibilities you're crossing it off. I like it in theory. It's the logistics
let me adjust my criteria. Midlife crisis that the kids and Kristin can also participate in.
Listen, you asked for my thoughts. That's where my thoughts go. If you want me to just listen, I'm happy to do that.
The whole family can enjoy. So no mountain biking.
No, it doesn't have to be. Listen, only if it's very time consuming.
That's it.
If it's like a couple hours here or there, who cares?
I get good point. So it's got to be something that I can do like at the house or close by, ideally.
Ideally. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. Because, we have a busy life.
Okay.
So
next option, beekeeping.
All right. I'll tolerate it.
What is it? What are you hesitant about with beekeeping?
Oh, well, I don't like bees, but
why not?
Because they sting,
Bees
and I
are
understand these are
beautiful.
honeybees.
Bees?
I like bees for ecology.
Yeah.
I just don't want to get stung. That's my only concern. I don't want there to be like lots of bees around, and now you got to worry about bees.
Because I feel like I could really get into some beekeeping.
Yeah.
I could. Oh yeah.
I would.
We have lots
that.
of flowers. We have lots of
Yes.
plants.
Yeah.
So I keep it far enough away from where we typically walk around, and that would be okay. I get the suit, get the little smoker thing, get pull out just get the honey.
Yeah. You're not worried about getting stung? I guess if you have the suit.
I'm not as I'm fine with insects.
Yeah. You don't react like physiologically to them the way
I don't have
do.
no allergies.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah.
So beekeeping.
Okay.
And we can have tons of honey. We can give it to our friends.
Mhm.
I could name the bees.
If you can tell them apart, sure.
They can be my friends.
Yeah. You could have friends. You could like take care of something.
I've been learning.
Things
I've been
alive.
learning
That's
about
nice.
I've been learning about beekeeping.
Yeah.
So I know about the best time, like in the spring, is ideally whenever you start your colony.
Okay.
You'd also you want to try to make the hive be not close to people.
Yeah.
Right. And you have lots of flowers and a water source close by.
Oh. Okay.
If you have a pool, which we do have a pool.
I don't want that to be the water source.
You don't want that to be the water source, so you got to do like a separate water source.
Have you thought about what that would be? What would keep them from the pool?
Bucket of water.
Just a big bucket of water. So then we'll have a bunch of like dead squirrels.
Big drum of water. Ideally, the rodents would not jump into it.
How about like a big bird bath? Does that count? Is that enough?
I have to look and see what the water requirements are for bees.
Yeah.
But anyway, so that's more promising than mountain biking.
Yeah.
Okay. Painting.
I love that.
I might get bored of that. I don't know. I'm thinking about like Bob Ross.
Why is it on your list then?
Well, I just want to throw it out there. See, like what, like do you do? Like I don't feel like I have a lot of like talent artistically, like in that way. But I'm thinking like Bob Ross. Like trying to do Bob Ross type stuff.
What if you had like paint by numbers?
Isn't that cheating?
Not if you're just doing it to enjoy it.
It's like coloring books.
Because you wouldn't enjoy it.
Like coloring books.
Yeah, but it's still the act of painting. It's still like, mixing the paints or using it, doing the motion of the brush. Like, I feel like if it's just for a hobby to be like some relaxing
paint by number
activity,
is like colored pencils. You're like pencil. Like,
no, I think they have like paint by number too.
Oh, you're actually using paints.
Yeah.
I want something that I can like get slowly better at.
Mhm.
And I don't know if
You could
if I'm
start
doing
with paint by
that, that's
number.
gonna actually help me become a better painter.
Yeah, maybe, maybe not.
Okay. All right.
You could
Next.
take classes.
True. I could do classes. Okay. Next and the final option here.
Okay.
Okay, spoiler alert, I signed up for an acting class. I signed up for an acting class and I think I'm really gonna like it.
Good.
And you might have to like come watch me act.
Okay. I have one more
So it's a thing that the whole family can enjoy.
yeah.
It's part of the requirements.
Yes. I think also our whole family would enjoy acting.
So
Not that we all have to come to your
Right.
class. I'm just saying yeah,
So
I
anyway.
think that's something that we all can
Okay.
appreciate.
So beekeeping, acting. Those are
Yeah.
Those are suitable
I like it.
for our family lifestyle. All right. I thought about another one. I wasn't gonna like tell you about it, but like, what about like just getting really into organizing? Would that be?
I would love it. Oh my gosh, please do
I'm
it.
just
Do that
kidding.
one. That's my
Please.
vote.
You know I'm joking. That would last 30 seconds. No, I already have one hobby that I tried to get us into as a family and it kind of flopped.
What?
Camping.
Oh. Yeah.
We have a nice tent,
Yeah.
like a canopy thing, a couple of stoves. So I have like the basics. Like we could right now tomorrow go camping and
Yeah.
like for like a few days. The problem is
We have a perfectly good house to sleep in.
everyone would hate it.
Yeah.
So that I don't think that's going to be.
It's just so
an
much
option.
work. Even you said it's so
It is a lot of work.
much work.
It is a lot of work.
If you're going to take your family camping, all the preparation, all the moving things around,
Right.
setting things up, taking things down, pulling things out of storage, it's just too much. I think that there should be a business that does that for you, like a concierge service that will pack you up for camping, plan all your meals, buy all the food, pack it all up. I don't know, figure out a way to keep it safe from bears or whatever. And just come to your campsite, set it all
Okay.
up for you, and then leave.
So you tell them where the campsite is.
Yeah.
They come to your house, get all your things.
Yeah.
Buy
They do
the food,
all the
buy
planning,
the food,
all the preparation,
and they just you go to the campsite, and your whole camp is just set
ready
up.
to go. All you got to do is show up
And do they come at the end to take everything down?
Yeah. Yeah. They got to come in and take it all down and put it all away,
What?
clean things out, get it all, stored again.
Why are you not glamping at that point?
Glamping is not like a full service hotel. Glamping is like you're sleeping under a roof of some kind.
Right, but it's all
maybe
set
it's
up
a
for you.
yurt. No, but nothing is set up.
You got a bed.
That's it though. Like none of the food, none of the still want to
So you're paying someone to set up a less comfortable campsite than like a
if you're
yurt.
wanting to do tent camping. This is for people who want to do
Yeah.
tent camping with their family. This is not for serious backpackers and hikers and people that love sleeping outdoors in the wilderness. This is your average American family who just wants to experience a few days of tent camping in the summer.
Okay. I think that part of the reason people like camping is because it's cheap.
Yeah. Well,
So
yes,
you're adding
that is part of it.
costs
Correct.
to
Yes,
a
this
very
would be
uncomfortable, time-consuming.
Yes, but you're going to
activity.
pay with your time or your money. Personally, I'd rather pay with my money. Just personally. That's everybody's decision to make. But I think some people like it because it's cheap,
Are they
sure.
cooking for you? Are they?
I mean, ideally. Maybe they have pre-packaged meals or something.
Are they also setting up a little one-person tent on your campsite and
No, they're
camping
not.
with you?
They're not invited. No. They would have to come in and out. Or just get things ready where it's as simple as possible for you to cook it on the site. It's all just as prepared as it can be ahead of time.
So it's like DoorDash, but for a campsite.
Campsites, yes.
You're DoorDashing a campsite.
Yeah. Because another thing people like about it is not just that it's cheap, it's that it's outside. You're living outside.
So CampDash.
CampDash. There you go. See, we built a whole business. Somebody just needs to come run it.
Someone who are there people out there that just love setting up campsites?
Maybe. Who knows? Or at least people who are willing to.
All right. Give us some feedback, folks. How can we should we get this idea off the ground? Or is there any kind of market? Let us know if you'd be interested in CampDash.
Yeah.
A new service run by the Glauc and Fleckens for setting up
No, I don't want to
and
run
taking
it.
down your
I
campsite.
don't want to run it. Someone else can have it.
Well, you'd be the
I just want
owner
it to
of it.
exist.
What if you're
Well,
like
sure, I can own it and get an operator.
you can? Yeah, I mean, well, think you don't have much overhead, right? Because
Mhm.
it's the person, obviously the person that's paying for all the costs associated with it, but we're not like renting out equipment, right? So we don't have to like
Right.
give
I guess
someone
that could be like phase 2. But yeah, to start,
it would be the person hiring the service,
Mhm.
like they have all their
All their
equipment.
yeah. Mhm.
What if all their equipment's stored in like a musty attic? Like you're like
Yeah,
you
that's
have
part
to.
of it.
That's part of
That's
it.
part of it. That's part of what makes it miserable for the person
Yeah.
to do, right? So that's what
Getting
you're hiring out is all the miserable parts.
okay. All right. I'm with you. All right, let's take a break. We are very excited to tell you about a healthcare news podcast that just came out. It's called Medlines.
See what we did there? Medlines, headlines,
That's good.
and
That's good, right? It's a weekly wrap up of everything in our field, from breakthrough discoveries to research, politics, pop culture.
yeah, I think the best way to think of it is kind of like NPR's Up First podcast, but for all things healthcare.
And we're excited to be a part of the team behind it, along with our partners at Human Content and our inaugural sponsor, the New England Journal of Medicine.
Yeah, we wanted there to be a podcast out there for busy healthcare professionals to stay informed on the go without taking a big chunk out of your day.
It's the episode's like 15 minutes.
Yeah, or less.
That's like the length of a cataract surgery.
Exactly.
Episodes of Medlines are out now wherever you get your podcasts, with new episodes out every Friday. Check it out. So I saw a thought-provoking, it was not provoked to do anything, a thought-provoking.
That's not thought provocative.
Thought
You would say provocative,
provoke-
not provoking. You would say, I saw provocative, whatever.
Well,
But then it's thought provoking, I guess, because thought is modifying the
Thought-
provocation.
thought-provoking.
This is
the
fascinating
thing,
podcasting.
It provoked the thought. Thought
Yeah.
provocative would be like, I had a thought that's very provocative.
It just doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Anyway, go on.
Yeah. You might be
This is what it's like to
you might-
have ADHD.
You might be the first person to ever think, wait, should it be thought provocative? That's a new one.
I have
Alert the Guinness Book of World Records.
an unusual brain, I will
Okay.
tell you.
So a thought-provoking TikTok from a surgeon.
Mhm.
And he said that he pointed this out, and I think it's absolutely true, that one thing that is missed from the like discourse about like surgeon personalities.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Is this like directly aimed at you?
no, it's not. But because it's not like I didn't invent the surgeon personality.
Right.
Like
But you sure.
I perpetuated the
Yeah.
stereotype for sure. And I mean, there's obviously my character personalities are caricatures.
Mhm.
So there's a nugget of truth to it. Otherwise, no one would pay attention or give a
Right.
shit about it.
Right.
So there's a nugget of truth to every one of the personalities, but they're like outsized,
Right.
like
You exaggerate.
exaggerated, all that stuff. And I hope people recognize that, but maybe not. But the idea of like the surgeon being like an egotistical, like control freak,
Yeah.
just so like only wants to operate and wants to do nothing else. It often
I have
that-
Sorry, I can't concentrate. Okay, go on.
so she just cleaned a stray
Stray
hair
hair.
off my face, which is something she's been doing for as long as we've been
It's
together.
like right in your eye. I was trying to ignore it, but to look at you, I had to just stare
What I'll
at it.
sometimes do is I'll rub.
No.
Oh,
No.
let me just tell people what
it's physically
so
painful
what
to
I
me.
do is
not looking.
I push
Nope.
all my eyebrow hairs the wrong way
No.
so that they all like stand up. I have pretty thick eyebrows.
Why do you do this to
So
me?
they just stand up in a really strange way. And I'll
You
just do one eyebrow like that.
You just enjoy hurting me.
And I'm doing it right now.
I hate it.
and I just have her look at me.
No,
Like, how does it look?
I'm not looking.
You have to look.
No, I'm not going
This
to.
is
Mm-mm.
this is a live podcast.
Yeah. So you've made your choices. You knew what would happen.
Okay, well, anyway, she gets really upset, and sometimes I don't let her fix it. All right, it's fixed. It's fixed. I fixed it.
No, you didn't.
All right. So back to what I was saying anyway, before I got sidetracked by you cleaning my
Sorry.
face.
Surgeon personalities.
Surgeon personalities. What gets missed from the characterization of surgeons is the idea of constant worry.
Oh, interesting.
So before surgeries
Mm-hmm.
and after surgeries,
Mm-hmm.
we spend a lot of time, and I think some surgeons probably more than others. Obviously, like, if you're like a neurosurgeon or like an oncologic surgeon where
Mhm.
you're doing like big cases. I mean, I do like 10 cataracts a week, so it's not like I can't sit there and worry about every single patient, nor do I. But for like complicated surgeries, I do this
Mhm.
where you just
Hold on before you move on. I want to make sure it's clear. You are concerned about every single patient. You give them the appropriate amount.
Oh, when I
of-
mention worry,
Yes.
it's like thinking about like having concern for your patients. And it's not like I'm not nervous about doing a surgery.
Right.
It's more, I would say it's an appropriate level of stress.
Yeah.
Like before the surgery.
Right.
And most of the worry honestly is like again, it's gonna be different for different specialties. Most of the worry that I have comes like after the surgery.
Yeah.
Like,
I just wanted to make it clear that it's not the way you said it. It could sound like I don't really care. I don't think about my patients before a surgery, or I don't care, or
no,
whatever.
no.
And that I have seen that's not true.
Oh no,
You do think about it. You prepare. You're appropriately.
I don't want people to think that saying that a surgeon worries about their patient means that they're like afraid to do the surgery or
Right.
that they're scared of doing the surgery.
Right.
No, it's just like you are about to, as a surgeon, you're about to make an incision and go inside someone's body.
Yeah. It's a lot of
And
responsibility.
there's a ton of responsibility on that.
Yeah.
And so there is worry involved.
Right.
Preoperatively, and then obviously post-op because you want the everything to go well. You don't want an
Right.
infection to happen. You don't want any kind of complication, or maybe it was a very difficult surgery. A person's in the ICU, and you're worried about them coming through and recovering okay. And when you're in the operating room, all of that goes away.
Yeah. You're just like in
You're
the flow.
You're in a flow state. You're just doing your work. And that's a part of the reason surgeons have this, I only want to operate. Because
Oh.
I feel like for a lot of surgeons, that's the only time where they can like know,
Turn their brain off.
they can kind of know peace.
Yeah, not their brain, but yeah, turn the worry off.
Turn the worry off and just be there and do the thing that you're trained to do and that you're really good at doing. And then outside of that time,
Yeah.
all the worry can just start to kind of creep in, and I still have patients I think about, patients I did surgery on, patients that had complications
Mhm.
from a mistake I made. I still think those don't really leave you.
Yeah.
And and I I don't think that's not necessarily unique to surgeons because obviously
Yeah, you
bad
might have
things
like a
can happen
misdiagnosis
for
or
any
whatever. Yeah.
type of medical professional who takes care of patients. Pathologists who like often don't
Mhm.
even see patients, but like what if they miss a diagnosis so
Right.
there's like everybody has this to a certain extent. I think with surgeons it can be a like kind of a more immediate thing, right? I'm about to go and do a procedure on this
Yeah.
person that could kill them.
Right.
Um and then the aftermath of exerting trauma on a body.
Mhm.
This surgery is
Yeah.
you are doing trauma to a body with the intent of making them better eventually, right?
Right. Controlled trauma.
Right. And so like the worry that comes with all that and so it would make sense that of course the surgeon's just going to want to be in the operating room
Mhm.
because
So
that's
it's where they feel like they can control.
yeah,
Maybe like
it's
is that why?
all
Because I could see
maybe
an
it's a
argument
control thing, yeah.
for you'd be more worried while you're doing it because now's the time that you might actually mess up, right? But no, that's not how it is. It's more just like, okay, now I can control all the variables. So, and I trust myself to do this work. And so now I'm not worried. It's all the outside variables that worry me.
Right. And maybe even, the idea of surgeons being control freaks in the operating room makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So they want to be able to, control all the variables in the operating room.
So you're saying they have these personalities out of concern for the patient.
Yeah. I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Um Yeah, there and with a tiny sprinkling of God complex.
Mm-hmm.
Like that is there. There's a reason that people want to be surgeons.
Right. In the first place, you have to
You have to have
believe that you are capable of
Of doing-
almost killing someone without killing
of
them.
doing amazing things.
Yeah.
Like with your hands in a person's body. And
Right.
so it does take a specific personality and character to like want to even take that on.
Mm-hmm. Do you
But-
feel like you have some of these traits because you are a surgeon, but you're not like a general surgeon?
Right. My cases are very small, focused, short. I do have some control things
No.
that I make sure of in the operating room. Like I want the lights a certain way.
Uh-huh.
I want I need the scrub tech to like hand me things and the right time and
Mhm.
and
Like,
not delay
anticipate
and
what you need.
anticipate. Yeah, so like I'm particular about bed height in particular. Like
Yeah,
I'm
because you're
tall,
huge.
and so I'm very particular about that. Head positioning of the patient. I position the head myself, the patient's head, and uh, where I want it. So yeah, yes, I am very particular.
And what about the God complex? Do you feel like you are the type of personality that's attracted to a surgical field?
No, I am not. I don't think I have like a really strong, like, I'm the greatest surgeon
No, I
in the
think you have
world.
the opposite.
I'm not. But again,
I think self-flagellation is more up your
well,
alley.
I think that's the difference maybe with ophthalmology. Just because of the nature of the types of surgery we do,
Mhm.
where, I could have like 12, 15 surgeries in one day.
Mhm.
And it's not just like one case that's
Yeah.
going to take like 8 hours. Like, I feel like that's gotta be like a very different mindset going into something like that. And maybe
Mhm.
there's more worries. So if I worried about every single one of those 12 cases, like
Mhm.
I would, I would
Go insane.
lose my mind. Like
Yeah.
and I wouldn't last in this field.
Right.
But
Also,
my
I
cases are
remember
on a smaller scale that are not life threatening. Like I'm not doing any
that's what I was going to
life-threatening
say. I
things.
remember that being one of the things that attracted you to ophthalmology was that you get to do surgery, but it's not a life-threatening surgery. It can still have very serious consequences, right?
Sure.
Like blindness is still a very serious concern, but you're not going to kill anybody.
Yeah. So it's just you know, going back to this surgeon, and I'm sorry I can't remember his name. Just came through on my For You page.
Yeah.
There's just such a good point because
Yeah.
like we don't really think about that. Like why is this person the way they are? And usually when it comes to a physician, it's born out of a concern, a tendency toward perfectionism
Mhm.
or just, concern for patients. And even though they come off as a bit arrogant, maybe to their peers or other colleagues in medicine, hopefully not to the patient, but I guess maybe.
Sometimes.
I think there's probably more beneath that we don't realize. Yeah.
Yeah.
So especially when it comes out the neurologist, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's going on there, but that might all just be made up by me. In fact, it probably is. Of all the characters I have, I think that's probably the least accurate depiction
Yeah,
of
like
a
the most
I don't think neurologists are not
so mean.
that surgeon-like.
Yeah.
So that would be like my neurologist depiction is like the surgeon equivalent of a neurologist. It'd be like
But then
it's like a
wouldn't that be a
neurologist.
neurosurgeon?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, the canon for my for my characters is that the neurosurgeon and the neurologist are brothers.
Right.
So, people might not realize that, but I had
Yeah.
one video where I was like
Mhm.
a Father's Day video, and they
Yeah.
both
And their
showed
dad
up.
was a neurosurgeon or neurologist? It was one of the two.
Yes, the dad was another neurologist,
Okay.
I believe. Yeah, so it's like, the neurologist following his father's footsteps, the neurosurgeon, all that stuff. So anyway,
Yeah.
all
Well,
right.
did that give you ideas for future skits involving surgeons?
I mean, I've thought about it. I'm not sure how I can kind of transform that idea into something to make the surgeon be a little bit more sympathetic. Um, because generally the surgeon is like he's more or less he's often the villain in a lot of
Mhm.
my skits, um, because you got to have the conflict, right? So someone's got to the
Right.
the humor's got to be directed at somebody, and I know that surgeons are able to take a joke very well.
Yeah.
So that's partly why they're the villain. But there have been a couple times where I've done like I had one video where Bill was Bill the resident was burned out and had a complication in the operating room.
Oh, yeah.
And
And the
then it was
surgeon.
the surgeon that came by and like told him like the only way to not have a complication is to not operate and
Mhm.
like giving words of encouragement, which was something that really did happen to me. I had that kind of mentorship
Mhm.
around surgical complications, which are such a hard thing. Talk about worry. Like that's
Yeah.
part of what you're worried about is you don't want to have a complication. You don't want to screw up, but you inevitably will when you're doing surgery on someone.
Mhm.
Your hand just might not do the thing you want it to do, or it might do it wrong. Um, and it's just part of it,
Yeah.
And so I had good, strong mentors that were able to like get me through that emotional mental hurdle of like, okay, well, yeah, you've had a complication, you've hurt somebody. Now, what are you going to do about it?
Mhm. How do you make it right?
How do you how do you ensure that that patient feels cared for?
Right.
It's a big part of being a surgeon. It's not just what's happening in the operating room; it's before and after. But
Right.
the worry is real, and I have to think about how I can
Yeah.
incorporate that idea.
Interesting.
But that's it for Knock Knock Hi.
Nope.
That's it for Knock Knock Hi. Jeez, can't get it. It's probably a mistake to make them sound so similar, but that was the point. Let us know what you think of the episode. If you have any suggestions or comments about any of our
CampDash?
topics, CampDash. Let us know about
Surgeons?
CampDash. Email us, knockknockhi@human-content.com. You also visit us on our social media platforms. Hang out with us and the Human Content Podcast family. Check out Medlines, too, by the way. Like, really fun podcast at Human Content Pods. Learn more. Thanks to all the wonderful listeners leaving feedback and reviews. Please send us your comments. Our YouTube channel is a great place to comment at Glauc. All the podcast episodes show up there. Would love to hear your thoughts. Full video episodes are up every week on that YouTube channel, so check it out. Lots of cool perks over on Patreon, new and improved Patreon. Bonus episodes or react to medical shows and movies. I might be making a few like skits specifically for Patreon, actually, coming up.
Yes.
So
They get to decide.
another good reason to join. Check it out. Early ad-free episode access, much more. Patreon.com/GlockenFlecken or go to GlockenFlecken.com. Speaking of Patreon community perks, shout out to the Jonathans, as usual. Lucia C., Edward K., Marion W., Mr. Granddaddy, Caitlin C., Brianna L., MP Cole, Tracy B., Mary H., Keith G., Parker, Muhammad L., David H., Kaylee A., Gabe, Gary M., Eric B., Marlene S., Scott M., Kelsey M., Dr. Hoover, Sean M., Ryan N., Jess K., Hawkeye MD, Bubbly Salt, and Shawnee D. A virtual head nod to you all. Patreon roulette, random shout out to some of the emergency medicine tier. Shout out to Beth W. Beth, thank you for being a patron, and thank you all for listening. We're your hosts, Will and Kristin Flannery, the Glauckenfleckens. Executive producers are Aaron Corney, Rob Goldman, and Shanti Brook. Editor and engineer is Jason Portiz. Our music is by Omer Ben-Zvi. To learn about Knock Knock Hi's program disclaimer and ethics policy, submission verification and licensing terms, and HIPAA release terms, go to glauckenflecken.com or reach out to us, knockknockhi@human-content.com with questions, concerns, or fun medical puns. Knock Knock Hi is a human content production.
Knock, knock, goodbye.
Thanks for watching the episode. You can find more on that playlist over there. If you prefer to listen, or you just had your eyes dilated, you can binge full episodes wherever you get your podcasts. Or join the party over on Patreon, where you get early access episodes, hang out with us, get lots of exclusive bonus content. Hope you subscribe, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think.